This episode is sponsored by Stingray Tattoo Supply. Take your shop to the next level with our premium hydraulic barber chairs built for comfort, durability, and smooth performance. Perfect for barbers and tattoo artists who demand the best. Sleek, sturdy, professional. Get yours today at stingraytattoo.net. This is the chairman and the artist, where vision meets creation. Let's talk. Hello, everybody. My name is Rafael from the Chariot and the Artist. Welcome. Today's guest is Flako, and we're gonna learn about all his studio and what he does, and what kind of business he's into. Welcome, Mr. Flako.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming in. So, what kind of business are you into? What do you do in this beautiful world we live in?
So I got a couple businesses that I have, not big businesses. They're small businesses, it's entry level still. But I own a salon, a full service salon here in town. It's called Biggest Little Cuts. I've actually just downsized my salon and pretty much put walls up and converted it into suites. So I rent out private suites for businesses. So I have a recording studio in one of my suites. I have a nail tech in my salon, and I think we're about to bring in a hairstylist. And then I got another private barber suite, and then I rent two other rooms to another engineer that he also does sound engineering out of there as well. So that's pretty much what I do with my old shop. But right now I cut hair by the mall area at my friend's shop. It's called Jack of All Fades.
Oh yeah, over by Smith Ridge.
Yes, sir, with Duran.
Yeah. Damn, you got a lot. You've been busy, homie. You got
trying to make something work,
Yeah, it looks like you stay busy. And how long you been you own that business or that location?
So I've been leasing that location for, I want to say, 5 years now.
The one on 4th Street?
The one on 4th Street. It's on the second floor of Davidson's Distillery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there for 5 years, since 2019. No, 6 years now.
Damn.
Halloween 2019.
Man, I seen that area. You right across from the city bus stop.
Oh yeah.
So it's got to be pretty interesting.
It's definitely interesting. It's definitely interesting.
You got some nice high-end bars right next to all the craziness happening. The homeless and all the
other characters out there.
Yeah, man, it's pretty interesting. I every time I go by there, there's always something new.
Something's going on.
Something's happening. That's definitely a place you want to drive by with your cell phone. Somebody, hey, get your cell phone ready. Let's record. We're gonna record something crazy on this, and it's only like 3 blocks stretch.
Yeah,
that it's
kind of tough area. It's a really tough area. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, right around the corner, that train thing. That's where they have a big old
their home and their I think where they donate them. It's like a center for the food.
Soup kitchen they call it.
Something like that. Yeah,
soup kitchen or food for the homeless, or to help the community.
Yes.
Yeah, poor Reno. Reno has a big homeless situation. It's sad.
I think everywhere right now, it's the homeless situation is getting bad everywhere.
Yeah, it gives me more drive to make my shit work too, cabrón, because I don't want to sleep out in the cold. And it only takes a couple of little fuck-ups and you're homeless.
Yeah, so you guys make sure you guys are booking your tattoo appointments.
I actually, there's more than one time that I tattooed next to where one of the artists was homeless.
Wow.
Dang. Living out of the van and shit like that.
Wow.
And it wasn't like he wasn't responsible on bills. It's like he left one apartment, and the next apartment right before they say yes,
they said no.
And then he's like, "Oh shit!" And then he couldn't get an apartment nowhere. And at that time, they just decided everybody had to go through a credit check. Prior to that, you just talked to a landlord, you hung out, and landlord hooked it up. Individual private landlord.
Yeah,
a lot of that was changing, and he needed a credit card. He needed this. Nobody would fucking take his application without a credit check. So he was fucking homeless for about 3 months.
Wow,
that's finally. Well, he was sleeping in girls' house here and there, but still, a lot of the times he was homeless. It's sad.
That must be a horrible situation to be put into. To be honest, that's devastating for real.
I'm glad I never been like that. I had a good family. We had strong family ties that I don't think we would let others go through that situation. But to tell the truth, I think one of my brothers actually went through it. But he was heavily into drugs, and drugs is what he just couldn't be stable, and it was probably one of the hardest things for me, and I still would have a hard time going to sleep at night knowing that one of my brothers was out there. Yes. Fuck, man, that really fucked up my sleeping habits or shit like that. Yeah. Almost every night that I go to sleep, I still think, man, I'm glad that my bro's got a nice place now, because for a long time
got a roof over his head. Yeah,
that motherfucker's in a well situated now. He's actually clean.
Nice.
So he's doing really well. And he's living in a fucking mansion.
Wow.
He went from homeless to a mansion. He lives
that's the only way, man.
Up at College Parkway area, bro.
Wow. that's very inspiring, though. You know what I mean? Anybody could do it.
So sometimes I'm like, you fucker, you went from that to that. He goes, yeah, can you believe that?
So no matter how behind you are or how late you start, you can always do it.
Yeah. And like, what about you? When you started your business, I see you hella tattooed and everything. How did that play out into your life?
So when I first got the tattoos, I wasn't a business owner yet. Now I'm a business owner, and it's kind of different because it's part of my image and my persona of who I am and how everybody here in town has met me, because I moved here in 2015 and I was already covered in tattoos. I already had all my tattoos, but I came here and I started all over. I started a business here, and then I had to reintroduce myself to everybody as who I am. And they have to get past the tattoos and to see who you really are. But it definitely affects your lifestyle. It affects your business. But the good thing is, when they already see you like that and they know you like that, they know who you really are. Like, it doesn't bother people, because I've been around people in Palm Springs where you have these older rich people, and they're very spectacle about that kind of stuff, and once they get to know you, they treat you like like you're normal. But when they don't know you, they treat you like you're a straight criminal. Like, if something, like growing up, if something went missing, then immediately everybody's already thinking, oh, it was him. So immediately, all right, I had to pull my pockets out, show everybody it was me. You know what I mean? And then, like, you move on. But what happens over time is, like, when stuff like that happens, shit goes missing, and you're already getting nervous, and like, what the fuck? I didn't even take it. I didn't even have nothing to do with this shit. You're already trying to come up with a story, like, fuck, like,
Let's put it this way. Every time in my English, in high school, motherfuckers, every time something went missing in my English class, the first motherfucker they pointed to was me.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand if it was a racist shit.
It was.
Or if it was just one of those things that fucker's a thief. No. And that time I didn't have no fucking tattoos. Or it wasn't about my tattoos for me.
Yeah.
But
probably how you were dressing too.
But apparently it's also maybe the stereotypes, that we like to steal and this and that. But that was very normal. I experienced that.
Yeah, definitely.
Where you come from? Other than you say you moved here?
So I'm originally from Oxnard. It's Ventura County. It's literally like, it used to be 30-40 minutes from downtown LA. Now it's like 2 hours because of the traffic.
Oh shit.
But yeah, I come from out there. I lived out there. I lived in many areas. I actually started my first business in the Palm Springs area in Bermuda Dunes. I had a sign company. We used to do signs and mobile advertisements. So I would do business cards, vehicle wraps, all that stuff. And then I got into it with one of my friends. I brought him into the business, and then eventually stole money, and that went downhill from there. And eventually, like, I used to take care of my dad there. So when my dad passed away, I wasn't taking care of nobody. My family was in LA and was over here in Reno. So I was like, well, I figure I'll start somewhere else. So I came out of Reno, and that's kind of when I started over. But yeah, I've been a lot of places in Cali and
so
Reno.
You already have that entrepreneur heart.
Well, the blessing that I've had in my life, even though like my family is so distant and everybody's on their own, is because they're all entrepreneurs with the entrepreneur mentality. Like my uncles that I looked up to are literally Mexicans with no papers, don't know English, don't know nothing. Were in the field. That's how my parents met, in the fields, you know. But eventually, they all started their own business, stucco companies, carnicerias. Like my uncle owns the
paperwork doesn't mean you don't know how to do the business. Paperwork doesn't mean you don't have the
just the license and certificates. You know what I mean? But once you learn that, you realize that's the easiest thing to do. Is to get your license and to pay the fees every year. That's easy. I feel like the harder part for me is handling my taxes. So I have to have somebody do my taxes. But when it comes to all that, like I've had like I don't have anybody in my family that like they made it somewhere as a manager or you know like supervisor. Like no, nobody in my family. Everybody, like even my mom.
In other words, you got entrepreneurs. I have
in the blood pretty much.
I have a little similar in my family.
Yeah.
I have uncles that have stores.
Nice.
I have a sister that owns a store here in Reno. I have cousins that own restaurants here in Reno. I have cousins in Mexico that own businesses and shit like that. So when you look to other family members, and
that's what you look up to. Like you want to be like them.
Bro,
yeah,
you can do this.
You don't want to be like, oh, I want to go clock in like they do. No, I want to go work for myself like they do.
Yeah, and that was to me that was one of the coolest things because I have a brother also. He passed away, but he was also he didn't want to work for somebody else. He wanted to own his own business. He hated working for somebody else. And we all do that. We all, we have to start somewhere to kind of also learn the business.
Yeah.
Or learn a trade or learn
Yeah,
something.
you have to start somewhere to learn the business. But I feel like a lot of it is we're not part of. I feel like there's a lot of people are programmed. And if you're not part of the program, obviously you think different like this. But when you think you're part of the program, you're like, I just want to go work 9 to 5, clock in, clock out, have peace of mind, don't worry about nothing, and then just get my check every 2 weeks. That's a program, and some people are comfortable with that. But to me, it's like I'm not even comfortable with where I'm at. I'm trying to start 4, 5, 6 different businesses. I also do music videos. I do sound engineering. I got a recording studio. I try to do all kinds of different things. So hopefully one thing will take off. But when you don't have that program to stay in the job, you got to just break that. You got to break out of that.
Kind of similar over here, cabron. I myself, I used to own a tattoo shop. I closed it down. Now I own an online store. I have a supply store. I'm trying to break into the hair industry.
You already did.
Well,
you already did. You did. You tapped in.
I'm trying to break into more and saying, hey, look, I got a product for you guys. I got into photography. I do photography. I do landscape photography. I actually build websites.
Wow.
So nice. I know how to do Mr. fucking HTML shit and all that. If I don't know, at least I know how to read it.
Yeah.
And I'm to that point. I'm actually just figured out how to do fucking Google ads, homie.
Nice. Okay, okay.
Not only just do Google ads, like click, watch the video and click. Yeah. Get to the point that you actually understanding what the fuck you're clicking on.
Yeah.
And it only took me 10 years.
Oh, wow, dang. Whoa.
10 years of fucking it up, fucking
research
it up, fucking
and
it up.
Trial and error.
Oh, yeah, a lot of trial and error, Wow. I think you're going through the same thing that I think a lot of people. I have some people that they want to start a business and they ask me, hey, Rap, how do I do this? I said, just go for it.
Just fucking Google it. Start there.
No, it's like, just go for it. Well, what if I'm going to fail? Of course you're going to fail.
Yeah.
Every fucking business that I've done or started, I fucked up.
Yeah.
I have not. And then sometimes on the second try, I make it happen.
Yeah.
I started tattooing back in the day under Kelly. And then with the dreams that one day I would open my own shop and stuff like that. But before I would go open my own shop, I had to learn the
learn how to is ran
and learn the business part behind it, the strategies and shit like that.
How to acquire clients, everything.
As a tattoo guy, I never got looked at as a businessman.
Wow.
I would go to other business meetings with other businessmen. And I was actually the fucking the clown in the fucking place.
The black sheep, pretty much.
No, like the clown. That was something that would ask me stupid ass questions and shit like that.
Oh,
nothing that has to do with the business part.
Wow.
I was trying to link up with other fucking businesses
and network and
then
stuff.
To realize that I was actually the clown in the fucking outfit.
Damn.
Was fucking pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's
hella funny. You know, you're a lot more than you know you would seem to look outside, or like you say, when people look at you, they're like, "Ay, güey, este cabrón me va a robar," or this or that.
Exactly.
I've been through that discrimination in Mexico. Back in the day, I went into a bus and my brother was laughing because he knew that shit was gonna happen to me. I went into a bus, homie, back in the day, from San Pancho to León, Guanajuato, and this is before Kat Von D was famous, you know, because she was, you know, recognized as a Mexican tattoo artist that came out of Mexico. Mm-hmm. So suddenly Mexico embraced tattooing.
But before that, no, they hated it.
Oh, bro, it was bad. So
even bald, even short hair, they hated it.
Well, yeah, well, eres pelón, eres
cholo, they said.
So I get on the fucking bus and I go to the back, and everybody gets off their seat and moves the fuck away. And then I'm like, what the fuck? And I got to learn what it's like to have leprosy.
Yeah.
Because I said, well, fuck you guys. If you guys going to treat me like that, I'm going to take advantage. So I sat down and spread my fucking legs.
Sit in the front, wherever I want.
Enjoyed it. And everybody was just fucking staying away from me.
Yeah.
Nobody would talk to me. Nobody would say shit to me. At the same time, maybe this guy said, oh, this guy is going to get shot pretty soon. We ought to get out of the way.
Yeah. See, but I feel like at that time, it wasn't so much discrimination. It was more fear. Because, you know, when you back in the day, the people that were tatted were, you know, people that were in the gangs. They were people that were, you know, in the lifestyle. So that's what you would see, you know, even like pirates type of deal, you know, with piercings and stuff like that. But now it's a little different now. That, like, but the discrimination's always with the color of our skin. But you're in Mexico, that, you know. But I feel like they were probably petrified of you.
Oh yeah, it was like, it was trippy. I mean, I got to see the development. I got to see the evolution in Mexico and over here too. I got to see it. Every time I would go back, they would treat me different. They would, you know, sometimes, you know, the cops, they would fucking treat me, not nice. Now I go back, oh, you know, Kat Von D, you know, so and so, you know, like, motherfucker, what the fuck?
I don't have her number on my phone.
It's so weird to get treated
like nice. A celebrity.
Yeah, like a celebrity. Because back in the day, you wouldn't get treated like that, you know?
Yeah.
It was very common for people to grab their purses and shit like that. That used to piss me the fuck up. And I'm like, man, don't worry. I don't want to steal none of your tampons, lady. I don't know what the fuck you tripping on.
Yeah. The last time I went to Michoacan, I was like 18 years old. And I had some tattoos, but maybe my hair wasn't even this short. It was a little bit longer. But when I went to Michoacan, like, I swear, like, the Mexicans out there, they hated me. They were like, ahí viene un cholo, marihuano, this and this. And I was like, dude, I'm a good kid. Like, I you know what I mean? I do my thing. I make my money. Like, I'm a law-abiding citizen where I'm at. You know, I don't.
That's what you think. But the look says cholo all the way, homie.
So they hate me out there. But then when I come back, the Mexicans hate me over here too. They're like, man, so it's just hard to fit in anywhere. Everybody hates. Everybody hates.
Like me, when I go down to LA area, I get hit up for the fucking barrio. What gang where you're from? I'm from Reno, homie. I'm just a tourist. I got no numbers. I got nothing, Holmes. I got nothing against your hood. I'm just passing through, trying to see Disneyland. But I get more fucking heat from the Mexicans out there than I get from Whitey or Blackie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
It is my fucking kind that I gotta be fucking afraid of.
Yeah, and that's when I go to any city out there in Cali, that's who I look out for, is us people like us, like, gotta watch out, because we know what time we're on. You know, a lot of them, they're on demon time over there.
Well, yeah, and luckily I can read numbers, I can read street names and shit, and say, oh, this guy's bonafide, I ain't gonna fuck with him.
Yeah,
and all that. But
shit, I'm blind, I can't see shit. I have to figure it out when they're already here.
No, luckily, you know, through tattooing, I'm well educated about the gang life and all that, and what this belongs, and, you know, how to conduct myself around other gang members and all that shit.
And even when it comes to, like, you know, culture tattoos and Aztec tattoos and certain things represent certain things, like, you have to know, you know, because it's
let's
crazy.
Put it this way, I have tattoos. I like Aztec art.
Yeah.
But at one time, they were killing motherfuckers out on the border from a gang called the Aztecs. And I was told by my cousin and shit, don't go over there, bro. They're shooting anybody that got tattoos like that. Don't get shot at over there. You know, and tattoos can get you shot at.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
You know, especially people that don't understand it or this or that, or they see a tattoo that They related to being a gang affiliated.
Yeah.
And whether you are or not, you're, next thing you know,
you're in the category. And there's and then what's crazy is like, unless you have a lawyer, unless you have hella money, there's no way for you to even fight that or defend yourself.
Why would I fucking fight it?
But
it's still gonna look at me like that all the time.
Yeah, but like the thing is, like, let's say you don't want an enhancement on a charge, and you don't want to be part of a files that you're not. So let's say like I wanted to take care of it. Like the only way to do that is you gotta have hella money or have a lawyer or have something. So and most of us don't have that.
Guess what, cabrón? There's another fucked up thing about me. I got a common name.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So that's something that I don't even want to go into because, it's I'm the one that sets off the alarm at the immigration when I cross the border.
You want to know what's funny? Every single time I go across the border, no matter who I'm with, I always tell people, look, they're gonna put me in segunda revisión all the time.
Oh,
don't care what it is.
You might have a common name then too.
No, I don't know if it's the name. No, that's before the name.
If you
my name
take it to a little room.
Yeah, but my name.
Then they fingerprint you, right? And
but they bring the dogs out. They do the whole thing. They put me. They put me in cuffs and put me in the little cells, and then they go through the whole cars and anybody that I'm with, they do it. They don't tell you nothing. And I don't have. But at the end it's like, oh, no tiene nada, déjalo ir. Like that's every single time.
That's what it is. You have a common name.
I don't know.
I have a common name, and I went through this shit, and I fucking, dude, I got into it so fucking hatred.
Yeah.
Because I thought they were targeting me all the time, until I have an officer that looked at my shit, and she told me, "Oh, Ralph."
That's why. No, with me is they put me out the car and they don't even know my name yet. Once I'm already in cuffs and everything, then they ask the questions.
Let's not go to Mexico together, come on.
No, for real. And I tell that to everybody that I've ever gone to Mexico with. I'll be like, look, coming back, you just expect issues. And for no reason, like, now I got a passport, so it should be easier. But before even, like, we actually just get across with the ID. But I always get discriminated at there. They always think something's going on, for sure.
Wow. Damn. And you were born here.
I was born here.
Damn, welcome
That's
to
America. That's what I'm telling you. They hate me over there. They hate me over here. And, like, all the races growing up, they hated us, too. Like, my dad ended up moving to the Palm Springs area when I was young. And that's where I started my first business. And I went to the school, like, it was very limited Mexicans. It was mostly white people. So even them, they treated you all bad, So no matter what race, I got discriminated by everybody. But it doesn't help the tattoos. It definitely doesn't help. But it's part of who we are. You know what I mean? I like the art. It's part of my culture too. Yeah. A bunch of my friends and family were tattoo artists. I used to cut hair in a tattoo shop, even though that was super illegal. I was out in Cali.
Cali?
Yeah, all these are out in Cali.
Yeah, there's been a lot of studios now that have haircut and tattoo combined in one shop. And that is very...
That's the new thing. That's the new thing, and I'm looking forward to that for sure. To seeing more shops like that.
Yeah, I myself, when I started tattooing back in 93. And imagine here in Reno there was only 3 tattoo shops.
Wow, now it's like the tattoo capital of the world, Reno.
Well, yeah, Reno became. There's more tattoo shops, and then there was only like 2 in Carson or 1 in Carson. And 1 in South Lake, and that was it.
Wow.
Now every little tiny town has 2, 3 shops. Gardnerville, Susanville.
Every street's got like 4 or 5 shops now.
Stead, here in Reno. It's, so the tattoo got crazy and it blossomed like a crazy fucking thing here in the United States. And right now with China coming in and China supplying all the fucking supplies and there's nobody regulating it no more. In other words, hey, you can easily get all your supplies online now.
Oh, nice.
You don't have to go through us, the gatekeepers, whatever the fuck people want to call me or whatever they want to call us. Fuck them, But you don't have to go through us. Just fucking go through Google.
Yeah,
you can go learn your shit on YouTube. For those of you that don't want to fucking learn other people. Go fucking learn your shit on YouTube. I learn shit on YouTube. YouTube is it's been a helpful thing for me too. I'm pretty sure I fucked up somebody's jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real. But that's the thing, you know what I mean? Like, what do you get from the YouTube? It's the knowledge, you know, and that's what you're going for, because people go to school and pay all this stuff for the knowledge, and the resources are here. I come from a generation that's where the internet was barely coming up, where it was dial up. When I started cutting hair, there was no YouTube videos, there was none of that. You practice on yourself and you learn that way, the old school hard way. Now it's like you got access to all this stuff, like there's no fucking excuse.
So the same thing is happening in your industry too.
Yeah, now it's so diluted. My industry is so diluted now because it's the resources are there, and the people that do take advantage, they thrive. You know, they're doing well, and then the people that don't, obviously they want to do it and they have that access, but they don't. So if they really want to, they would.
Yeah, it's kind of like this. You can only fake it so much. You
Exactly.
can only, if you fuck up a haircut, that's it. You can, and tattoos too. You can only fake it so much. If you're good, you're good. You're gonna evolve.
Yeah.
If you're good at is fucking dancing and doing fucking videos so people can look at your shit, but you're not even fucking showing up your work.
Yeah.
Then that's how it is too now.
You should just switch your career and be a content creator.
Nah, it's monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what TikTok and all this shit is about. It's monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah. That's what
how many people are doing the Kendrick Lamar?
Everybody copies
how many people
it.
doing his dance right now and doing their shit and mocking him or supporting him or whatever?
Yeah.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
We're no different than the monkeys. We're just a monkey with no hair.
That's exactly what social media is, because someone posts a video and someone reposts it their way, and they do the challenges and they do all that.
And you wish that you're the one that everybody's copying.
Yeah.
You wish that but when it comes to tattoos, and sometimes you don't want to get copied. I don't want my fucking tattoos on somebody else. I don't want my shit copied on somebody else.
Yeah, we want some all original stuff. So how do you feel about the new AI with the tattoo designs?
Well, it's fucking it's better than fucking showing me something from fucking Instagram, somebody else's fucking tattoo, somebody else's
somebody's arm already.
For example, somebody can actually take a video from a video, take your rose and get that rose tattoo on them, not knowing what that motherfucking rose means to you.
Yeah.
And actually try and
see what it would look like.
And everything, and even put it in the same fucking area. And it's like, dude, the art is cool. You can get art from any book, any magazine, but when you're taking somebody's tattoo,
somebody else,
and not knowing what that meaning is, or this or that, or what that person went to get that, or what it means to them, it's almost like stolen valor. I don't know what the fuck, but it's very common happening, and I almost refuse to do that shit. I tell people, I'll do it, but you're fucking stupid. And they're like, what? I say, I think it's stupid. I'll do it,
Yeah.
I'd rather do something original. This and that. No, I want exactly. And I'm like, who the fuck is that guy that has a tattoo? I don't know. It's just somebody on Instagram. Even fucking worse. Because back in the day, they used to, I want to get the David Beckham angel. From fucking football players, soccer players, and shit like that.
Now
shit is being stolen.
There's an app that you literally put what you want this design to be or look like in description, and AI will generate.
Yeah, we're fucking around with that one.
Like a whole new thing, and it's something that won't be regenerated, or other people won't ever have it.
Hopefully, but at the same time, you're cheating yourself out of fucking learning how to draw.
Yeah.
I mean, AI is cool to use it this way or that way, but when it comes to tattooing, you want to teach yourself to draw every fucking day
your own stuff.
Instead of fucking teaching yourself to fucking copy and paste, because that's what all that shit is now.
Yeah.
All these motherfuckers are doing copy and paste. I hardly see anybody fucking doing
original art,
custom freehand art, and just freehand drawing and going off their fucking head and show me something wicked, something different, instead of just fucking showing me the same fucking thing that 20 other motherfuckers have on Instagram and shit like that.
That's true.
But that's what's going on in my industry. Is fucking, to that point, I'm disgusted. I'm fucking pissed off. At the same time,
did you ever get to hear about this guy named Carl Grace, tattoo artist, world famous? I went to a couple of tattoo conventions. I went in Pomona, and I got to meet Tommy Montoya from New York Inc. and a bunch of people. And Carl Grace was somebody I got to meet. This guy, he's a fucking genius. He'll get the gun and let it spray the ink and then he'll start drawing off the spots and make his own art and make stuff with 3 eyes and 5 heads and babies and engines and biomechanical stuff. Like, this guy's a genius, and it all comes out of his freaking mind. Like, no stencil, just all freehand.
Now that's fucking crazy. And I'm saying, like, I see the other guy that does he does on gorillas or lions and shit like that, and he goes from nothing.
Damn.
And I'm like, holy fuck, that's fucking insane.
No stencil, nothing. That's,
you know, to me that's
the art. That's a full tattoo
and that's
artist.
fucking insane fucking tattooing, because I'd rather still fucking try it, but if you have the ability to just do that, then do it. You know, and the client is willing to pay it.
Much, huh?
And the client knows what they're getting into. Oh, you telling me I'm gonna get one of your originals, and
this guy
out your fucking brain.
Like 20 years ago, no, like 15 years ago, was charging $1,000 just for the appointment, plus the tattoo. Imagine what he's charging now, 10, 15 years later, because prices have changed, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, in the tattoo world, there's different status. I mean, you can charge $100, $200. It all depends. Also, you can't do that kind of shit in here in Reno.
Yeah.
Reno don't have the money, and we don't have the celebrities.
No, you want people to travel to come to you for that kind of stuff.
Shit like that. And also, you have to create that name. You have to create that ability, that uniqueness.
Yeah.
You know, right now, there's more uniqueness in copy and paste than there is in that kind of stuff. And that's why, and also, nobody can copy that motherfucker.
Yeah, can't.
You know?
Well, now with that, you said where they could take it off the skin, maybe they can now. Shit.
I look, because I done that shit, man.
That's crazy.
I had this motherfucker come in and ask me to do this, and I say, so who the fuck are you stealing this from? Oh, so we got it off a video. What video?
Yeah.
It's on Instagram. It's like, oh, dude, I'm disgusted. I don't want to do this. It's like, fuck you, man. I'm not going to do this shit, bro.
Yeah.
And he was like, come on, man. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do the original intro, because the guy had already changed the wings and shit like this. It's some fucking fallen angel. So the guy had already changed the wings. I said, I'll do the intro that comes from that fucking reference that somebody drew, the art one. But I'm not going to copy somebody else's already changed the thing. That apparently he wanted to change it for a reason. He didn't want to be the same fucking thing. And now you're going to get the same shit as this motherfucker? What the fuck, bro? And the guy's looking at me like, why wouldn't you just do it? The customer's always right. Not in here, motherfucker. The customer's not always right here.
And that's something you people got to learn, that, you know, with different artists, because, you know, I've had people that they do cover-ups or do this, and I'll be like, hey, what can you do to my chest piece? And they're like, nothing. I ain't doing nothing to it. I'm not touching it. I don't want to do with it. Like, you want a new piece? I'll get you a new piece. That one, I'm not touching it.
Well, yeah. Well, there's some that know how to cover up, and there's some that should not know fucking cover-ups. Cover-up is a big fucking thing that not everybody knows how to do.
And some people don't even want to even care to deal with that stuff. Like,
well, it's because a cover-up is nothing but a fuck-up.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, big it's time. A fuck-up from the beginning. It's a fuck-up when it's going to end.
And it's not even your fuck-up. It's somebody else's fuck-up.
Well, yeah. Even sometimes you end up covering up your own fuck-ups, but still.
Yeah.
For real. But how can I say? Almost every artist wants a nice, clean slate, so they want to fucking show off their work.
Right.
Nobody wants to cover up, because no matter what, that cover up is going to be hella fucking hard to do and shit like that.
Or it's downplayed of what it could have been, because it has to be corrected.
And then else. You know, and then also using the right topic to do the cover up and shit like that. There's people that are really good at cover ups and they know how to camouflage shit, and there's people that they, you know, the first thing they're gonna recommend is a Black Panther, the Black Rose, or this or that, and you know, just because they probably don't know how to do cover-ups or how to be creative with cover-ups.
Right.
But then again, here comes the whole blackout. What the fuck? They just black it out, motherfucker.
That's crazy.
That's a new thing now, you know. And after they black it out, hey, can we go over it with white again? What? And then we go over it with gray, and then, you know. So
how does that even look?
It's fucking insane, and it's not no more about the art. Now it's all about the fucking client just gone insane.
It's an addiction.
Your client has gone insane.
Super addicted.
You know, yeah, they.
Damn.
You know.
And the glow in the dark stuff.
Yeah, the glow in the dark.
Not gonna lie, I want some glow in the dark shit on my face so I can go hit the club.
Like, you know, and also in tattooing, we have the trance. You know, it's trendy when suddenly everybody wants to get the biomechanical, and then it goes to tribal, then it goes like right now we're in the blackout stage and shit like that.
Yeah,
that's what make it to me. I like the big black tribal designs, not the whole arm blacked out and shit like that. But then again,
I heard people just say if you got a bad tattoo, just before you cover it up, just go get some laser and then get it covered up.
Well, that's the other thing too. Lasers available back in the day. There was no laser available. Yeah. So it was either a cover up and shit like that.
See, I'd rather do some laser and then cover the laser up than just cover another black tattoo with another black tattoo. Like,
yeah, but it's weird because people come in and get this and say, "Hey, can you black it out now?" I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I guess I'll just make the money and cover up this shit that I did,
But then the worst part is they're walking around with that tattoo that you didn't even like to do it because it's a fuck up, and now everybody's like, oh, who did that? And then now they're saying, oh, he did that, and they're like, damn, he did that. Well,
luckily I kind of retired before the blackout.
Nice.
I done a couple of blackouts. Like I done a big old fucking bomb on this guy's leg. That's his biggest blackout. But it was to cover up a big fucking mess. Yeah. But I'd rather cover up. When I done my cover-ups, I done them with jungle scenes or dragons. Some of them have worked out okay. Some of them like, what the fuck? And you still gotta.
You like doing cover-ups? How do you feel about them?
It's a challenge. And if it's a challenge, it's fucking, I'm all for it, you know? And, but how can I say, like, the harder the tattoo, the more challenging, the better. I don't want to be doing something that, I'm so good at this, it's easy. I want to be challenged. So, you know, I did Celtic tattoos. I'm a Mexican, and what the fuck am I doing with Celtic stuff? But I actually like doing Celtic tattoos. I like doing the complicity over and under and shit like that. And and some of my impressive pieces were Celtic pieces that I did.
Oh, shit.
And shit like that. So I really enjoy Celtic tattoos. And then when anybody came to the shop, these fuckers, hey, give it to Raph. Raph likes doing that.
Yeah.
And, you know, fucking my brother hated Celtic tattoos. You know, I don't like doing those dot tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
I prefer not to do those if I could, but I'll do it if
people ask for that stuff.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's like I say, monkey see, monkey do. And, you know, to me, I'm glad that I just gave it to one of the other guys. I had enough artists. That, you know, I got to a point that I could be picky. Yeah. And if I didn't like doing that, I'm like, oh, dude, I'm not doing that shit. I'll give it to homie or give it to this guy. He likes doing that. Yeah. So, you know, I'm not going to force myself to doing something I don't like.
Yeah.
You know?
Of course, you got to pick and choose your battles and pick and choose your clients sometimes, the type of work that you got to accept. Because, you know, like there's certain haircuts that I won't do. Like, there's one haircut I won't do. Everything else, I'll do it. But with like a flat top, I won't do that. I won't set myself up for failure. I'm not going to try to brush the hair up and get it to be there so I can cut it. Like, you want to fade or not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with like cover-ups, I do like fixing haircuts. That's one of the things. When I first came to Reno, a lot of my clients said, hey, can you fix this? Hey, I went over here. Can you fix this? Can you fix this? And then I started the challenge, you know, well, let me try to fix it. And there's times that you can't fix it, but then I can add some designs. And then I fixed it. So then it was cool, too.
Yeah, but, like, man, and my tattooing thing, you know, that's a thing that I didn't know what my abilities were going to be until I got into it.
Right.
I actually enjoy also doing more of the tribal stuff. You know, but as a Mexican, everybody thought, hey, you gotta do Aztecs. You must be good at Aztecs. So everybody pushed me to do Aztec shit.
That's what they wanted.
And luckily, I got into the Aztec life or to the Aztec world. I went and studied as much as I could about the Aztec gods and shit like that. I would read books or read their mythology and shit like that, and kind of draw my own designs on my own
based off
gods. Yeah, I smoke out and fucking, hey, let me draw this, and I'll draw it like this, and draw my own version of Tlaloc. I drew my own version of the feather serpent and shit like that. I didn't want to copy
anybody else,
the calendars of the panaderia and this and that, even though everybody wanted me to copy the calendars and stuff like that. And, you know, but most of my Aztec stuff, I would try and draw it out of my head. I would draw the warrior the way I would draw a warrior. Like, I remember I did these two warriors fighting on this guy. and I put injuries on them and shit like that. Like, hey man, I don't want to put two warriors. I don't know if you ever seen when they got the warriors fighting, but nobody's injured, nobody's got scars and shit. Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck?
They all look like supermodels.
Yeah, they're supermodels, and you know, so on my fight scenes, I would have these motherfuckers all the slashes and shit like that from the fucking clubs and shit like that, you know. And I did my rendition of Michael Angel, the Archangel, the battle of the demons and the angels. I did that rendition, my rendition. I drew my own demons, my own. And some of the angels, the demons were fucking cutting off their wings.
Damn.
Some of the angels were getting fucked.
So they were really in battle type deal. Yeah.
To me, that's the way I would draw it. I'm not gonna fucking draw what everybody. All the angels are all fucking
posing.
Nothing happening to their armor and shit like that. And, no, fuck that. These fucking demons are vicious and they're fucking up the angels and shit like that. And you know. One of my demons came out looking like Batman. We call that demon the Batman guy. But yeah, my whole client had a whole fucking
that's badass
battle scene and shit like that. You know, that is the kind of stuff that I enjoy doing. I enjoy doing my own fantasy shit.
See, when I was young, that's when I would go like talk to tattoo artists. I'd be like, "What do you think I should do?" And I would always try to get into their head and see what their ideas were. And they'd be like, "You don't know what you want. You don't know what you want." I'm like, "No, I don't know what I want. There was no like, I don't want no tattoo Flash, no tattoo Johnny stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I want some art." But it was hard to get somebody that wants to be creative like that, though. You know, a lot of people are like, "Oh, you don't have what you want already." Like, no, that's why, you know, being a tattoo artist is like learning to draw and create it and put it together. You know, sometimes you'd go make the appointment, you come, you know, you leave a deposit, and then a week later, then you get like the art that you're gonna put on you, and then you set up your tattoo appointment. Like, I remember it was a longer process. Just okay, bring the stencil, it's done. Like, no, it was
so back in the day, the way the clients would come in, and we would say, we need to have a consultation,
right?
And what do you want to do? I want my whole arm. Okay, what do you want on your arm? I want koi fish and this and that. All right. And then we go get the koi fish and go get whatever reference and kind of put it together for this guy and then see if he likes it, you know. And that's how we did every other big tattoo. And sometimes, you know, the guy would come in with some of his reference already. I want this koi fish. All right, we'll do that, you know, but what is this koi fish? Oh my, I got this from a blanket that belonged to so and so. And like, okay, so it's a special koi fish. It's not just a stupid fish. It's a special koi fish. It's got meaning. Yeah. You know? Yeah, this isn't somebody's blanket. This is somebody's, you know,
something they grew up with type of thing or something.
So I don't change the fish there.
Yeah.
I do exactly. I try to match the fish to
perfect.
Give him that thing, you know. So there's tattoos that have a lot of meaning and a lot of stuff, and there's tattoos that are just fucking junk.
Yeah.
You know? I want this. What? I don't know. I just picked that one, and that's how it was.
Yeah, like how like some people get koi fish and they don't even know the meaning of the koi fish. You know, the koi fish swimming up means you're doing better. Swimming down, like these people have sometimes they have no. I just want the fish. Trend. Follow the trend.
A lot of times the information wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't there because there was no Google. There was only legends and myths and shit like that.
You had to tap into the culture pretty much.
Yeah, and sometimes people didn't give a fuck either. You know, it was also a time where people just came in and they wanted something from another magazine, you know. The Cold Stone Steve Austin fucking wrestling guy.
Yeah.
His fucking tattoo. I think I done that one on 10 other motherfuckers. Every other kid wanted to be Cold Stoned. You know, so they came in, I want this, and I'm like, dude, I want it. You don't change your mind. Fuck yeah, I'll be glad you take your fucking $200, motherfucker. You don't care about me, and I don't care about you either. I do it. I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know, I did it. I had to eat.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
I have no morals at that point. He's got no morals either. He doesn't, you know, wants to salute his.
He got no morals.
He wants to show up at the WWE and show homie that he's got his.
Crack a beer open.
The same tattoo as homie, you know. That's how it was. It was Cold Stone or Goldberg.
I'm pretty sure it was Cold.
No, it's Goldberg. It's Goldberg, right?
Stone Cold Steve Austin, the one with the beers. Yeah, the bald one.
Does he have the tribal one? No, it's Goldberg. I think it's Goldberg. Oh, shit, I'm giving shit bad props to Austin. No, I think it was Goldberg. There was another wrestler, I think he had a tribal tattoo. You know, like, dude, when Tony Lamas got that tattoo and it was a fucking biker thing. Oh, dude, you want to fucking laugh. Go back in the 90s and check out some of these old shows, and you'll see tattoos on TV, and they look like, what the fuck? These guys are the badasses, and he's got a little tiny skull, a little tiny dragon.
A little flower.
And, oh, yeah, it was fucking like, what the fuck? And now every criminal on a fucking movie set or whatever, they look like us.
Yeah.
They're heavily tattooed, all fucking on their face, their necks, and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know? I remember, I think the first show that showed like prison style tattoos or some kind of, you know, but that's in that show, Breakout or something like that, when one brother went to prison or whatever.
I don't think I've seen it.
Man, so many motherfuckers wanted that tattoo too.
Yeah.
People would come in, I want a tattoo like homie. Ah, get the fuck out of here. I'll do a tattoo like homie, but it ain't gonna be like homie. I'm gonna do my own fucking version. But to me, I kind of hated people that went and copied Hollywood or this and that.
Oh, that stuff, yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, fuck, man.
Especially they're copying tattoos that are not even real.
It tripped me the fuck up, but, you know.
Man, I bet you the guy's other tattoos will wash off at night and put it back on tomorrow.
Like, check it out. I was such a tattoo guru or tattoo motherfucker that I would look at movies, because what got me into tattooing is a fucking movie. A movie that I watched called Boulevard Nights.
Mm.
And in this movie, Boulevard Nights, this motherfucker, I think he just got jumped into the gang or whatever. And they told him, hey, let's take him to Old Man Diaz. And then they show Old Man Diaz, this old raggedy homie, teeth, grabs the tattoo machine and it just starts doing this tattoo on this homie from this movie, Boulevard Nights. And I was so impressed with the tattoo stuff, the cool design on that tattoo, and just the whole scene. And I said to my homie, one day I'm going to be Old Man Diaz. Hey. I'm going to be an old guy, and I'm going to be tattooing homies from the hood and shit like that. I'm still going to be hearing the stories of what's going on in the hood. In a way, we still do. Yeah, I'm still tattooing the homies in the hood, you know?
Yeah. Now it's the little homies.
I'm still keeping up with the drama, whether I like it or not. You get to know what's going on in the hood.
Who's out there.
From all sides, you know? You get to understand what kind of gangs are active, what kind of groups are active right now, what kind of militia's going on in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
You telling me they're burning crosses out there in those hills? That kind of stuff, you know? Yeah. They tell me stories like that. I heard all kinds. I don't know if you ever been to Northern California.
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah. I've been over to the Redding area. And it's very common. You'll see Confederate flags on vehicles there. And then I go to a tattoo convention, and they have a booth there with Confederate and swastikas.
Oh, shit.
And all that. It's like, oh, we're in a rural country.
It's like we got a business, too. We paid the booth rent.
So, I had my white friend. His name was Mike, big old German guy. So, hey, Mike, I'm your fucking servant here, okay? Yes, sir, Ralph. You're gonna dog his boss. Don't worry, Ralph. You're gonna be my bitch, because we know this is hillbilly country. These motherfuckers they will not talk to me. They will not cater to me. Nobody was the restaurants and shit. They will not talk to me. They will only talk to Mike, and Mike would order for me and this and that.
Oh, that's crazy. Damn, good thing you had a mic with you, because
it was hella funny. People don't think that shit happens, but
it does.
I was laughing my ass off, and Mike is like, Raph, this is a really unique town. I said, yeah, you haven't noticed the racism?
Yeah.
Yes, they talk to me and they hate you.
Yeah, and the more the older the towns, the more old school, you know, they're still in their old ways, you know. Oh, yeah. Especially here in Nevada, there's a lot of those towns like that are pretty racist still, you know. You hear the stories about how they ring a bell, and then everybody that's of color has to go inside, and they still fucking ring the bell today. You know what I mean? Like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, there's still a couple of hillbilly towns up here, or places where we really stand out. I would stand out like a motherfucker, especially I show up with my fishing gear. Yeah. You know, because I go fishing all these areas. Up here in Susanville, we go visit some of the hillbilly boys that had farms, we can say. And we call them the mountain people, you know. And these guys had big old weed farms. And we go and check out their weed farms and shit like that. And I would go photograph their farms. I would take pictures of their butts and everything.
Nice.
And it was the coolest fucking experience to go hang out with country. Those homies. And they would treat us so nice, so grateful, and this and that, you know. But we would just tell, how can I say, all kinds of racist jokes on each other and shit. And like
it was cool, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it
was hella fun, and these guys would have fun with me, and I would have fun with them. And you know, but you know, they just tell me, hey, in this area, this is how you're gonna get treated. So don't be surprised.
That's how it is,
you know?
Yeah.
And I said, okay, you know, but tell them you know me, and they'll treat you differently, you know. And it was because we would go in, and then we say, oh, we're looking for Carl, and right away, oh, never mind. Oh, it was like,
oh, you're friends with Carl. You're friends with.
Oh yeah. If you were friends with Carl, you were friends with everybody, and
so now I know. Anytime I go to
peace, Carl,
I'm friends with Mike.
Passed away,
I'm friends with Carl.
my good friend passed away.
He sent me to come hang out. Yeah.
Once you know the people in the town, it's very, very different.
What I like about Reno is that it's more diverse. You know, everybody here it's a big community, and like what I'm saying is like I work at a shop that, you know, the owner he's black. You know, he's the homie Jack, and you know he's got people of all kinds of races working there, and they attend of clients of every color, and so do I, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's
and that's like the beauty of it. Like Reno is literally we put the walls down here.
It's so mixed, and there's so much tourism going through here, and you got an airport. But what I noticed about Reno, there's no definite hood that's all Chinese, that's all Korean.
Yeah, right.
Nothing like that. It's all mixed. Yeah. It's very mixed.
Everywhere's mixed.
And you can live in any neighborhood, and you're not gonna be looked at wrong
or targeted or something.
You can live in any neighborhood, and everybody is very cordial here.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I noticed about Reno. It doesn't have like a dominant, you know, only Irish live here, only Italians. Yeah. Nothing like that I noticed about Reno. I know where I'm not welcome, but you know, I still, me as a tattoo artist, believe it or not, I have friends all over Reno, from all colors, all races,
all levels,
and the rich, the poor, the good, the bad, the ugly. I know them all. You know, I tattooed, you know, all political sides, all criminal sides, you know, rich and poor, the victim, the criminal,
the suspect and the victim.
Yeah, we done shit like that, bro.
Yeah, and it's a blessing to be exposed to everybody, because it's very humbling, the fact that, you know, you can connect with anybody in any level and any race, and that just shows a lot about who you are, because not anybody can do that. It's not something that everybody does, you know, and like, you know, that's pretty amazing, you know. That says a lot about you for sure.
Well, tattooing allows me to do one thing. I'm gonna sit with you for 2 or 3 hours, and just like you there's a contact sport.
Yeah,
somebody's gonna be touching somebody. You gotta touch the head, and you got a fucking weapon that can cut.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I got a little thing that goes and it hurts like a motherfucker.
Fuck yeah.
But it's gonna leave a cool ass design once I'm done with you. You know. Yeah. But at the same process, this person is gonna interview me, and I'm gonna interview them. You know.
Right.
I got to tattoo people from Mississippi, from Louisiana, from Kentucky, from Alaska, from Utah, San Francisco. So I get to hear different ways how they treat people there, this and that. Yeah. I get, you know, I would say from the Mississippi over here was our clientele, where I would get people, and they would normally come in like, we would get the bowling team that comes in every year. They would have a bowling team, so we would get the same people coming in, and hey, this is nice. We were here last year, so we had a lot of that. We have all kinds of conventions that happen here, so we get those people coming in. So they, you know, I was tattooing a police officer who was a biker, and they would come in and tell me all about what was going on in Santa Rosa and shit like that,
Right.
you know. And at the same time, he's telling me from his part of, you know, how he is a cop, this and that,
How things are going.
and shit like that. So I get to hear what's going on in Santa Rosa, even though I don't live in Santa Rosa.
Yeah.
And this is the time that we ain't got no Google. You
Yeah.
know, right now you can look up shit and everything is
You know
right
everything.
there. Back then, if you're paying attention, they're telling you what's going on here and there and all that. You know, we were tattooing police officers, nurses, firefighters.
Yeah, everything.
So you get to know who saw the accident, how the brains were splattered, and they tell you all the detail, and you're like, "What the fuck? Are you serious?" "Oh yeah, Raph, you should have seen." I'm like, "Dude, don't tell me." And then here comes the Ramsa guy. "Hey, check out this picture!" Like, "Oh my god!" And it was, and then here comes and it's like, "What in the hell?" It was insane. And there was only things that, you know, actually they put a stop to that. But back in the day, we were seeing things that we were not supposed to see.
Damn.
I remember we were tattooing a detective that he showed us a book of a bunch of murders that showed
all that stuff.
all the in color and all these autopsies, but you know, like what a shotgun does to a knee and this and that. So I got to see all that in color.
Wow.
And then long ago I used to tattoo a prison guard who showed me quite a bit of prison style tattoos. And I got to know about some really scary people and some really scary ass photos. You're seeing these people just slice their whole back, slice, and you're like, what? But you're also admiring the tattoo and all this. And
that's a nice piece, but that's a lot of pieces.
And this is stuff that, you know, you're not seeing on YouTube and this and that. And so we were connected to all kinds of stuff that, suddenly, you know, hey, check this out. And I didn't know until I get home. I put it on my computer. Oh my God, I wish. What did you think of that? Like, you fucking insane.
No, what's crazy is like my uncle. He used to work for the Department of Transportation here, and then they do a lot of where they clean up the car accidents, and you show up first, and they, you know, he showed me all the pictures and videos too. But you know, even like how you were saying, it's like shout out to like the first responders, like the first, you know, when the people call 911, like they're the ones that show up, like the paramedics, and they're the first ones that see all this stuff. Like,
oh yeah,
and they don't hear about it. They don't post it. You know, hey, look at my social media. Look what I found. Like, you know, they just deal with that every day.
Well, I tattooed Mr. Firefighter who was catching a guy from a building, and he tells me how he caught him and this and that. I'm like, what?
Damn.
You know, I see this building caught on fire downtown, and I'm tattooing, so I'm actually doing, we can say, the therapy.
Yeah,
I tattoo and do therapy with these fuckers, we can say.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't just tattooing, I was doing actually therapy. Apparently I became a therapist, and I was fucking with people's heads.
Damn.
Giving bad advice. And
making them worse. Oh man.
Oh yeah, I was fucking with people's heads the same way they came and fucked with my head, because I was not a fucking therapist, but apparently I became one as a tattoo guy. I didn't want to become a therapist, but I listened to so many fucking people, and next thing you know, I took their cases home and thought about it, and I had to come back,
dissect it,
and give him an answer. I need you to grab a pillow and put it over his face.
Your problems will be done.
And do that.
Or take 10 Tylenols. It'll be your last headache ever.
I tattooed ladies that did hospice.
Oh dang! But they take care of the elderly.
And I asked them, "You ever decided to let them go a little quicker?" She goes, "Shut up, rap."
She's like, you know, we did. We know we thought about it every day.
It's like, has anybody been like done stupid, say something racist to you, and then say, I think I'm gonna give them a little extra today? They go, no, rap. When people are dying, but you get to talk to the hospice one, the death angel, the one that you get to see before you die.
Yeah.
Most likely it's gonna be a hospice.
Yeah. Crazy.
And when you hear their stories and this and that, and they're telling you nothing but death stories.
Every day,
and that's
8
part
hours
of
a
their
day.
job.
Yeah.
And the next one is a piercing, some nipple piercing, and let's go to Girls Gone Wild because you gotta show these girls a good time or whatever. That's how it is at the shop. And then the next one is, I'm getting a portrait of my baby, and I just went through a death one.
Damn, it's crazy.
So it'd be a roller coaster.
Their lives be like that, huh?
Oh yeah, it's a fucking roller coaster ride, homie. It's a roller coaster ride doing tattooing like that.
Yeah, I have clients that as soon as they sit in my chair, like we've never met, and like the first thing, my wife cheated on me, or this and this, and now you're like, damn, I don't even know his wife to be like, leave her or take her back, or you know what I mean? Now you gotta take it home, do the homework, like, or wait for him to come back and tell him, okay, did you guys make progress? Nah, okay, then just move on. You know what I mean? It's been long enough.
But it's fucking crazy, huh? Suddenly you gotta take this home.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this wasn't supposed to be part of my fucking day. Why do I gotta know about this or that?
See, me, I'm good at leaving it there, though. I listen and we talk and we communicate and I help out with whatever advice I could give from the experience that I have, but I don't take it home. Like I don't even take in their energies and their emotions, because you know when someone comes in pissed off, I feel that and I block them off, like the energies, you know. So as soon as people start trying to vent, I just listen, but I learn not to get emotionally attached to anything that they're saying, or even if they're talking about politics or sports or nothing, just because then you get so emotionally involved and then you get angry or you get sad or you feel a certain way and then you're not even thinking about it.
I think I used to go through those emotions, huh?
Yeah. And you're debating, you're like, why am I even mad with this guy? You know what I mean? Like,
I think I used to do the opposite. I used to, motherfucker, you what?
He's like, go back and punch her in the face.
No, dude, people would come and tell me, it's like, dude, you're not here to get tattooed. You're here to tell me your fucking issues, and I really don't want to listen to it. No, Rav, you got to listen to this. Oh, fuck.
Hey, it's like that. It's so crazy.
I guess we're not going to stop. No, you're my only... And it was weird, you know, because, you know, sometimes as I'm tattooing a person, I was tattooing somebody when they met the girl, when they got married,
they have a kid,
when they have a kid,
and then the divorce,
when he starts cheating. Now he's in a biker gang. Now he got locked up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I'm still catching up with his life.
Yeah,
and that's how it is. And it goes. And, you know, and I got to know all about this person's life.
And now you're tattooing the kids, and now you're getting to know the kids' lives and their girlfriends and who they bring, and it just never ends. It's pretty awesome because, you know, like I started cutting with a lot of the kids here in town, and now these kids are like grown men. They're driving, they're cutting hair, they got their own lives going on. And I was like, damn, you were just like 7 years old not that long ago. You know, now you're over here 18, 19, 20-year-old doing life, and it's pretty cool that I guess the industries that we're both in, because they're like the same but different. We do different things, but it has us to do certain similar things, you know. And again learn and having that like long connection and relationship with your clients is like you grow with them because they don't want to leave you. They want to come back to you all the time, you know. And I think that's the cool part, being able to build all those relationships.
Well, yeah, fucking tattooing for me, it's been a web that I would have never known all these people if I didn't get the chance to do this tattoo or that tattoo. Right. And so it's crazy to know the spider web. I'm pretty sure you see it too.
Hey, and what's crazier is that spider web is mostly probably word of mouth.
But you see it. You see how this one is connected to that one.
And to everything. Yeah, like everybody that I know. Mostly everybody that I know, and mostly people that I have done business with, that I am friends with, that I have met through this and this and this and this. Literally, it's like it started when they came in for a walk-in as a haircut. Mm-hmm. Oh, boom, and this, and you know, it's really crazy. But the industry does really put. Now I got connections for tires, alignments, paint jobs, flooring. I got connections for anything I need. I call one of my clients. Boom, hey, boom, or I put a post, and they all call. Hey, I got you. What you need?
Yeah, that's the cool thing.
Everything
you have pretty much kind of like the same thing as sometimes me. I had a mechanic, a plumber, but I had 3 on the list.
Yeah, everything.
because there's more than one plumber that I'm tattooing at the time. There's more than one mechanic, so I got a choice of which one I can pick. You know, it was fucking the connection is fucking awesome to enjoy.
Yeah,
you know, there was a point that I would stand in line to go to the club or go, you know, take the girl out to the club, and I had to stand in line because I didn't know. But 2 years later,
I'll come in the front. Right? We got you.
Well, I knew all the bouncers. I was tattooing the bouncers, so anywhere we went, no, you don't stand in line no more. Now you can. Oh, thank God, that's so cool. Yeah, I started enjoying those little privileges of being able to cut in front of the line and shit like that, just because. Oh, by the way, I tattooed the owner. You know, the owner of the establishment told me not to stand in line and shit like that. You know.
Nice.
I don't know. You probably experienced this. Get ready for la migra. I got one. You know, I did it. I passed the test.
That's all that matters, huh?
I don't think you pass the test. That's why they pull you over, cabrón.
Nah, they always put me in the segunda revisión.
Tell them to give you the test. Let me do the test. I'll show you that I can pass it.
I didn't even know you could do a test. They always think I have like. It's not. They don't think it's because I'm an immigrant or because I look like an immigrant. They think it's because I'm trying to bring some drugs or something.
Oh,
they bring the dogs out. The first thing they bring is they don't even ask the name, nothing. They see in the dogs. They already go bring the dog.
Back in the 90s and 80s, that was the number one complaint. All our clients that we were tattooing, some of them would travel to Bahamas or whatever. They come back. You don't understand, Raph. They treated me like this. Oh, it's because you're tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a tattoos, and immigration was customs. Customs is the worst.
Yeah.
They're the ones that fucking go through all your shit.
It's crazy.
And they're looking for everything. I mean,
every fucking thing.
They go through everything, and all they need is that little tiny bit of coke, grab whatever the
anything, and that's it. That's it.
Sir, trafficking narcotics.
Yeah, one time we went to Mexicali. We went to go drop off my sister to the airport, and it was me and her ex-boyfriend at the time, and we're smoking some weed. You know what I mean? We didn't know that we dropped some crumbs on the floor. And this is one of the times that we already got rid of the weed, we got rid of the joint. We dropped her off at the airport, we're on the way back. You know, we're cool. You know. And we had even pulled over to finish smoking before we crossed. You know, okay, well, this is it. And this is really it. Yeah. So we're going across, and then right away they look at us, and he's light skinned with green eyes. So he's from Sinaloa, but he doesn't look that bad. But he looked at me, and he looked at me twice, and then he did a signal. The other guy comes out. They bring the dogs. All right, can you guys step out? And then as soon as he looked in the car, he's seen on the floorboard the crumbs. I swear it was. Not even that. It was
enough for trafficking.
It was less. It was broken up, so broken up. It was very minimal. It was mostly lint and the carpet stuff that on there. But he grabbed all that off the carpet. He pulled the lint and everything and tried to say we had like a gram and all this. And then, dude, it was the crazy shit. Well, over here, he's almost signing his fucking paperwork away, and then they let us go though. They were not tripping at the end, but they let us go. It was, and that was just one time. I got 3-4 stories with homies. They almost signed their paperwork away, and I even had one of them. They came back with the pipe. It was brand new. He bought it, dumbass. And we didn't even use it, and I had to say it was my pipe, just so they wouldn't fucking deport this fool and shit. But that's why I already know. They push it to the next level with me. I never have nothing, and I already know what I'm gonna go through. So for sure, I don't have nothing on me.
I thought I had it bad, but my situation is a lot better than yours.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad. Homie.
Yeah, and then when I used to live in the Palm Springs area, I swear I used to get pulled over 5 to 10 times a month. And they would open my car and look for the stuff and rip my stereo out and all kinds of stuff. Oh, we found nothing. Oh, okay, boom, boom, boom. And what are you gonna do? You can't sue them. You don't have no money. You don't even know. You didn't even remember to take the fucking their names down. We weren't on that level like that. We were just fuck, don't fucking shoot me. Just fucking check whatever you gotta check. My shit's legit. But it was racist ass cops. It was really.
Yeah.
My brother had a story that He left his house. He went to the liquor store, and this is in my hometown. This was in Oxnard, and he went across the alley to go to the liquor store, get a blunt for him and his lady to smoke, and a cop pulls up on him, and this motherfucker doesn't have the lights on, nothing. It's the evening, so it's getting dark, and the guy comes out with his gun out. Get on the floor, put your hands on your head. And my brother's like, what the fuck? Like, I haven't done shit. Like, but he's on file. He's a gangbanger. He's obviously, so he feels like the guy recognizes him, so he's doing whatever, you know. And then the cop, you know, with the gun pointed, he tells him, hey, your phone's ringing, answer it, your phone's ringing. And my brother's like, no, the fuck is it not? Like, what the fuck? My phone's not ringing. And then
for something.
Yeah, my brother's trying, like, nah, this motherfucker's trying to kill me and shit. Like, I'm not fucking answering. He's like, answer your fucking phone. They're calling, answer your phone. And luckily, another fucking cop pulls up with the lights. What's going on here? Oh, nothing. Come on, you can get up now. Da da da. Like, and they're like, fuck. He almost got. If he would have fucking did what the cop said, they reached for the phone, they would have smoked him right there.
Yeah. And I know the feeling. I've been pulled over with guns before, and it's not nice.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but, you know, it's part of the safety program.
The safety procedures and shit.
It's part of their safety. That's what I've been told. So I try to behave, you know.
Yeah.
Because, the last thing I need to do is get shot at. But
yeah, no, one thing that my dad did tell me is that you can always fight it in court. Don't worry about what's going on. Just fight it in court later on. You know what I mean? Because it ain't worth your life trying to stand up to a cop who's already got ego problems and pride and all this stuff that, you know.
Well, that's the scary part. That's the scariest part.
That's why you like, yes, sir.
It's no big deal. You can always
fight it in court.
With a judge and
get a lawyer and have someone fight for you.
But when you're in that heat and that guy is, you can tell that guy wants to kick your ass and this and that. I've been surrounded by Mr. 4 SWAT guys and two, what do you call it, German Shepherds.
Oh, yeah?
At the border in Tijuana just for crossing the yellow line.
Damn.
They brought out the guys that come out in full gear.
The tactical guys, like the SWAT almost.
Yeah, full gear, shields.
Oh, damn.
Batons that have Mr. Electricity kick your ass shit. I don't know, but things didn't sound too good back there.
Damn.
And I was like, holy shit, somebody fucked up. Somebody's gonna, oh shit, it's me. Shit.
What do you do? Just fuck.
Well, that's because I crossed the yellow line.
Damn. How you even get so close to it?
No, I just crossed the yellow line to give him an extra ID, and the guy didn't like it that I crossed the yellow line.
What?
So he pushed the button.
Damn.
So it's his issues against mine, and he's angry. He's pissed.
Yeah, now it's personal.
You know?
Damn.
And he's, you know, this motherfucker, you know, and I don't even know what the fuck's going on, but next thing you know, I'm surrounded, and
fuck.
The next wrong move I make is an ass whooping.
Yeah.
You know? So, and then crossing to the airport, they put me in the little room with the other people, and until they clear me, and I've been in, you know,
damn.
You can tell, like, oh, somebody's got something up their ass. This one's legal. This one's, he's straight out fucking gangster. This motherfucker.
You can tell by seeing them.
I could tell, you know, and I'm like,
this motherfucker's sweating too much. He's fucked.
He's fucked, you know. I can tell.
Yeah.
And I don't like it when they come out and they start putting on their gloves. I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. You know what's crazy? One of the times that I got let go on the border, some lady came in with some stuff, and I think that's why they were like, "Oh, these fools don't have nothing anyways." She came in with work. She came in with work in the car, and I don't know what they found, but she was a big deal, and I think that's why they were like, "These fools really don't got shit," you know. So I think it was a blessing and a curse for her.
Yeah, I've been
scared
also,
to be there.
I've been through Nogales. What's it, Nogales? Yeah, Laredo. Yeah, to Laredo. And I went through there and got searched by dogs.
Yeah.
Because we switched one of the lights on the van. And we only went for 3 days and came back. So they thought we went to pick up a load.
Oh, damn.
And, the Ferralis, they were all over our ass, me and my wife, and we didn't have shit.
Yeah.
You know? And they were searching all over our vehicles. The Mexican feds, and every fucking checkpoint, it was like
stop.
It was scary, man.
And there's checkpoints after the border too.
And then I get to to the U.S. and I still get yelled at by the lady, and they bring out the dogs and they didn't find nothing, but they were certain that we were trafficking.
Somebody probably said something about a van or snitched you guys out or something.
I don't know, but and then you got to go through the checkpoints too.
Yeah,
and every checkpoint, pull over here, motherfucker. Yeah, my wife's like, oh my god,
again.
Yeah,
it's horrible, and you can't do nothing about it. You gotta follow suit.
Luckily, well, in Mexico they were taking apart our vehicle with the fucking guy just started taking shit, and my wife like, hey, motherfuckers, and the guy's about to cut my fucking upholstery and shit like that.
No way.
Oh yeah, and they don't give a fuck. And then homie comes out and tells the homie to start kicking my ass and. Make sure that he's got nothing. I was like, dude, I got nothing, really. And then they bring out the dogs and nothing. And I'm like, he's got nothing. And it's like...
No, and when they bring the dogs in there, they bring them on your doors and all that. And they're scratching all your shit everywhere. Like, you're just...
Oh, yeah. So I had nothing. But, yeah, it seemed like somebody, like, maybe, yeah. But, and then every checkpoint after that was fucking, like, scary. We were going through the Nogales... Laredo.
See, I never been out that far. The only borders I went through was from San Luis through Rio Colorado through Arizona, and then through La Garita Nueva, which is like in Mexicali, and then through TJ.
I went through Tijuana, Mexicali. I went to Nogales. In Nogales, we got searched and got fucking fucked with.
Hey, it's crazy over there though. That's.
And Nogales was scary because the hotel that we stayed at. The next door, they shot the chief of police.
Oh shit!
So you know how secure the town is.
It's crazy over there.
When the chief of police just got shot at.
That's cartel, everything over there.
And that night we slept and we could hear the 50 cals going at it. We're like, oh my god!
Well, going through the walls.
Just don't take me back to Mexico. You
just don't sit up. Just lay down. That way they just go past you.
No, luckily we had big brick walls, but that shit. I don't know. It was pretty fucking. You could feel the intensity that night. And now Nogales is a scary ass fucking thing. And then going across it was another crazy story for me. Yeah. But and fucking. I've been through Nogales, El Paso, Laredo, and Tijuana, Mexicali. I crossed all those.
So you know about all the one that Garita Nueva too. I was around when they built it because my dad, he's from Heber, so we're from Calexico. Our family's from out there too. Yeah, so
Calexico actually. That's where I went through illegally the first time.
Yeah,
through Mexicali.
So you know where the McDonald's is at? Right there on right. It goes to the border. Like it's literally a block away from the actual border. Well, that McDonald's, that's where my grandfather's house used to be at.
That's fucking
and
crazy.
They tore it down and they built that. Eventually, they bought it over.
I went back there later where we crossed.
Yeah.
I went through some emotions because I realized that
how crazy it really was.
Yeah, and the fact that we were in a fucked up hella neighborhood and we just slept outside on the people's lawn.
It's crazy, yeah. For real.
But it was too hot to sleep inside and there was too many people inside the house.
Damn.
But I know that we were not welcome. That they, and then when they crossed us, I know that we were not welcome also at the place that they in Barstow.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in Barstow, they pulled over and one of the guys and they gave us food before they drove us all the way to Reno. They charged my dad $300 for each one of us.
Damn.
For the crossing and all the way back in the day. Imagine that.
Damn.
Well, I told my dad, I said, yeah, you fuckers cost me $300 each. We're like, wow, that's a deal.
Yeah, it's like $20,000 right now.
He goes, hey, believe it or not, and the guy took us all the way to Reno.
What?
He didn't just cross, the guy was
damn,
so cool.
That's just the gas right there.
Yeah. Oh, back in the day, I don't know how gas like that. It was fucking trippy, and I remember the whole thing because they crossed us through Riverside. I remember the checkpoint. Right. And they went and left us in a McDonald's to eat, and that's the first time we saw a black person with braids. We saw one of the workers was a black girl, so we were tripping. We're like, check out her braids. You know, he's just tripping on their braids. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she was fucking annoyed by us.
Just looking all amazed.
The guy ordered some stuff, and we didn't like the hamburgers, but we ate them. I didn't like the pickles. That was the first time I ate McDonald's or Burger King.
Oh, okay.
McDonald's or Burger King, one of those two. They left us there, and then they went back for the other two people that were crossing with us.
Damn.
So it was three of us and two older people. My brother-in-law and my uncle. One of my uncles. My brother-in-law's dad and my uncle, they were kind of chaperone.
Yeah.
So they crossed us, so they had to hide them, you know. We just drove in the car and said, the guy said, act like we're going to school, okay, you know. We're just being kids.
Put the backpack on.
You know, hitting each other and shit like that through the checkpoint, and they just wave us through, you know. And then they crossed. But if they would have got busted, we would have been stuck right there at the fucking thing. And how the fuck do we even get a hold of our parents and shit? So that was fucking trippy later when I realized that. Like, what the fuck?
You would have been left at McDonald's.
Yeah, and, you know.
Damn.
And so then we got picked up, went to Barstow. Somewhere in Barstow. I remember being there, so we pulled over into kind of like one of those trailer houses. Because we were tripping, like, what the fuck? People live in these things? These are ugly things, you know? And we went in there, and I remember one of the kids, they don't like us being there, you know, like, what are these fucking wetbacks doing here or something like that. Like, they didn't like us being there, and the dad told them, like, hey, be nice to them, you know, don't be rude, and they were pissed off about us being there. You know, so they just pretty much gave us some cereal and said, okay, let's get the fuck out of here, and
move you guys.
Kept riding all the way to Reno. So we came to 395.
Damn.
So I got to see Bishop, the mountains, and all that. I remember I told them I got sick, and we had to pull over because I threw up, and I think it was Mammoth. I was amazed by how tall the trees were, and I think I got sick in the car.
Looking up.
Yeah, I think it was through that canyon right after Bridgeport and Mammoth, but I got sick, and my brothers were making fun of me for fucking throwing up and shit.
Damn.
But I remember the whole fucking trip when it comes to fucking that let's cross the border adventure.
Damn, that's crazy. It's intense for sure. It's not easy. I'm pretty sure it's even crazier now with, you know, what's going on.
Oh fuck yeah! Back in the day, it was way different.
It was easy.
You know? And Calexico, the way it was with Chicali, all they did is somebody cut the fence and we just walked through. Yeah, and they just told us we're not there yet. We knew that we were already crossed, but they told us no, we're not. They just try to keep us, you know,
together, like,
and shit like that. And I remember the fucking hotel that we stayed in. It was fucking kind of, you could tell it was used for criminal activity. Yeah, you know.
And I know when you get across the border, like an hour, like 45 minutes out past the border, like going to like Coachella area or, you know, the other way, there's an inspections. They have these inspection points, and everybody still goes through those, and then it's like a second immigration check.
Yeah, we go through those.
Yeah, so you still so even though you made it, you still didn't make it until you make it to like LA.
Imagine all the shit that we went through.
So
I crossed a lot of shit.
Yeah, you had to cross and keep crossing, because it's not just one border. We made it. No,
I'm very fortunate to, you know.
Yeah, and these things got X-ray machines. They got all kinds of stuff. So it's hard.
Now I actually been back also, and I go to those checkpoints. I've been checked for who's in the back and all that. They tell me, hey, get over here. You know, yes sir, I'm got it right here. I can't wait to show you guys. I made it.
It's a whole different energy now.
Oh yeah.
Sign me up.
Oh yeah, you know, I actually have a citizenship photo.
Nice, that's awesome, man.
I became a citizen. I'm actually.
Nice, congrats, man. That's a big accomplishment.
I actually lived the American dream.
Nice.
Came over here, became a citizen, owned my own business.
Nice.
Still running my own business, running my own thing, you know.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like you know.
Yeah, it's a blessing.
Have you ever given this advice to others? I tell them there's two applications you can fill up in life: a business application or a job application.
Yeah. You can get a job or you can buy a job.
And actually, the business application is not that expensive, huh?
No, it's every city is different, but it's like $100. It's not even that. Like, you know, you get a city license, the state license, you get your tax ID number, your sales permit, all that. You know, probably $500. You know, but it's an investment into yourself, into your business, and now you're fully legal and you could do whatever you want to do.
How much does it go into the school, and do you have to go to school?
So for what I do, yes, you have to go to school. I went to school in 2008. I really don't know what it is now. I'm pretty sure like it's like 30,000, you know, so it's up there. So for sure, whatever trade you're gonna go through, you have to go through some kind of schooling, unless you can get like a certificate, or you know, from that you can do that type of work that you're in. Some people are not so strict, but the board that I'm in, they're very strict. You know, they're very strict on cross contamination and keeping things clean, and it's not really, they don't really care if you know how to do the work that you're doing. They want to know keeping it clean, and knowing that you're not gonna, they just care about your clients. They just want to make sure that you're not gonna pass them no infectious diseases or anything like that. So that's why you really have to go to the school and get that. But for cutting hair, they don't care if you're gonna suck at it. That's on you. It's
So the average haircut at school is around 20 G's.
I want to say around 20,000. It's, I feel like that's the average. I'm sure there's more, because I've heard somebody say like 60,000 for like the cosmetologist course that they took, but I really don't know what school they went. And then some barbers that, you know, back in the day, you would pay like $10,000, I think. So it's different.
See, if we got in our industry, I decided if I'm gonna teach somebody, I charge them 10,000.
Welcome to Graffiti City, your one-stop shop for graffiti supplies. From spray paint to markers, caps, and merch, we've got it all. Let's get creative. GraffitiCityNV.com.
This CBD-infused cream provides targeted comfort with a zesty, refreshing scent. Find your relief today at ktapothecary.com.
The CBD.
Nice. Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's like, that's so cool that you're an entrepreneur, but you go through your issues, which I don't know. I can only come up with you probably on the same boat as I am.
Yeah.
Common name, cabron. That was the only explanation they gave me.
And you're like, and I'm sticking to that. That makes me feel better.
Well, dude, I have my license canceled in states that I've never been to.
Oh, damn.
You know, and this is also back in the day when I used to have a CDL. I used to have a commercial driver license.
That means hella people had your name and hella stuff was going on. Damn. Thank God for some kind of social identity, you know, social security.
Well, apparently right now, my IRS lady is telling me that somebody might have used my shit and filed my taxes.
So you're not at the point that you just want to change your name yet?
No, dude. No, well, even if I change my name, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
And I need to go back to Mexico. The sooner the better. You know, I actually got a piece of land over there. Nice. I got stuff that I want to do down there. You know, I can also do my chairs and tables in Mexico, especially now that they're charging a lot for the metal. As the metal goes up in price, I don't want to charge more for the chair. You know? Like, how's your chair? Oh, on your chair, we need to put another pata. So we kind of notice it has a tendency of flipping.
What do you mean flipping?
It can flip.
Yeah.
Wheels, yeah. If you lay somebody.
No, my chair has a good center of balance, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my chair has.
I was telling him about the third foot and the chair.
Oh, you could do that if you want, but to be honest, my chair has a good center of balance because of the type of chair it is. It's not like a barber chair where it has a lot more top heavy. Mm-hmm. So my chair just kind of sits there, but I think it's
just to remember, turn it sideways, and then there's no chance of flipping.
So I don't never recline them back. Oh, maybe that's why.
I thought I'd let you know that.
Okay, yeah, no, I don't recline them back because I like that it goes low and I can do the lineup from the top of them. I don't have to recline them because that wastes more of my time. But they're just sitting up and they go low enough, I stand behind them. Nice. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, man. This actually yesterday, which was Sunday. What day was it? The 16th, 17th?
Today is the 17th.
17th, right? So it was the 16th. So yesterday we had a cutout-thon where we donated haircuts from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. to the community all day. And there was a time that there was no booster seats available. Everybody had the booster seats because all there was a bunch of kids in there getting haircuts, and I was the only one. And there was somebody else. It was me and them, and there was one booster seat. And I was like, "No, you know what? Like, you take it. I got this." Well, when the kid sat on my chair, I pushed the button. I didn't even need the damn booster seat. So that definitely the chair came in clutch for sure yesterday. Like, well, every day, but even like if you're in situations like that, like, man, the fact that you don't even need to buy a booster seat for your chair now that it can go that high and that low, like that was pretty awesome. It was pretty convenient too.
Damn. See, and that's actually the first time that I'm getting a little bit of feedback from you, because I gotta do the research and development.
Yeah.
And first I gotta let you try it out for a little while.
Yeah. I guess.
And, you know, you'll never. Do you think you ever go back to Mr. Pump?
I won't ever go back to no, there's no point. There's no, like, I even see like my coworkers, and there's some pumps that really bad that you have to pump it like 100 times just to get it to go up a little bit, like an inch, and they're like all day. I'm like, man, I don't miss that at all.
Yeah,
I really don't.
Yeah, it's you know, hopefully I can change that in the hair industry. Hopefully I can bring it in. I saw 2 in Garnerville and 3 actually. And they're giving me feedback, what works, what doesn't. You know, like they've been, hey man, it's got to turn like you.
Yeah.
So now I figure out how to take care of that.
Nice.
And yeah, I'm here to fucking cater to the hair industry. Let them know that I'm trying to help you guys back issues, like the same way I'm trying to help the tattoo industry. Hey, you got an Instagram?
I do. They can find me under Famous Flako with the K, Flako. And then I got the Famous Empire Entertainment. That's the one where the music videos that I do. And then where I work at the shop, and the shop owner, his Instagram's Jack of All Fades. And I'm promoting him a lot because he's been promoting me a lot, and he's really big in the community. And right now, the next event that we have, this is actually the 3rd year that I've been going to the Boys and Girls Club. Every year I go 3 times a year, and I donate haircuts to the Boys and Girls Club teens, the foster home teens, and the kids are in Janet and on the probation. So, like, you know how we're talking about clients, you know, law enforcement and stuff like that. I also have clients that are law enforcement, and like I had to do my background screening just so I'm able to help these children and all that stuff too. But I just want to give them a shout out because they're my team for sure, and they've been rocking me.
No, that's cool. At least you get back to the community. I wish I could tattoo the teens and this and that, but that's illegal.
Yeah, but you know what though? That we have had tattoo artists come and speak to them because that's something that they've requested. They requested a fireman to come and speak. They requested an officer. They requested a barber. They requested a tattoo artist. They requested different things. So you don't necessarily have to go tattoo them, but you know what I mean? They have a story just like you, and sometimes they look at you and they're like, oh, he's like me, we relate, you know, we all go through the same thing. And at the end of the day, it's like we're all in the same communities, and when we're in the same communities, that means we go to the same schools, we go to the same stores, we go to the same gas stations. That means that we have the same problems and we have the same issues, and that means that we're all going through the same things. So, you know, at the end of the day, you're gonna relate to somebody more that went through it than someone that you see as authority and someone telling me how to run my life and all this. So, you know, just by you being there and just giving your story, even if it's just one person that you help, like that's already the mission accomplished.
The cool thing about tattooing being more popular and cool like that, we got accepted to go do what's that called, career day at the middle schools and high schools.
Yeah, because that's what they want.
We got to do middle schools and high schools. I got to go into a middle school and give a tattoo career and talk about how I use my art to make money and this and that. And,
that's awesome.
You know, it was scary, bro. I came out with a sweat thing like this. Those kids scared the fuck out of me. It was hella hard talking to little kids without being... because I cuss a lot. I talk shit. I use the word fuck, this and that. Actually, this one little motherfucker was talking shit, so I put him in check. And then the teacher's like, oh my God. And then I went to another school, and one of the students asked me if I ever did gang tattoos. And I told him, yeah. And the student left, and then I went over to the coffee area of the teacher's lounge.
Yeah.
And you know, one of them was really impressed with the information that was given out to the students and this and that. And then I had another Becky, we can say, on the corner who decided to step up and said, "Look, I didn't like it the fact that you told the kids that you do gang tattoos." And I said, "You want me to be a liar? You invited me to tell you what I do." I said, "Most of the time in my career, I started tattooing gang members. So that's my job. That's what I do, you know."
Yeah.
I said, every time I do a cross, that's another gang member.
And most of the gang members, it's like, it's my brother, it's my cousin, it's my tío. It's like, what you mean? They're my immediate family anyways, too. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, so I started tattooing in the gang life before I started tattooing professionally. I got into the tattoo world, tattooing gang members.
Yeah.
And I had enough good relations with the gangs that I wasn't getting my ass kicked. I was able to go to different territories based on my art, and I knew the drama. I knew who was gonna shoot who and where the dangers were and shit like that. So I was educated about what's going on in my neighborhood when it came to the crime, and got ready for it, or knew which way they came in and put an extra board there or whatever. You know, when you talk to somebody that told you how he creeped into the house and slept under somebody's bed and shit like that, and you're like, "All right, keep telling me." I'm
gonna steal that way, and I'm gonna steal this way.
Yeah. So
get the experience.
You get to hear all the stories from these guys. Now you know what's really in your neighborhood. Yeah. But also, these criminals turn out to respect you and this and that, and most likely they're not gonna do the crime on you.
Yeah.
You know, so I was able to get along with everybody and anybody. You know, I can talk political, religion. I can talk, whatever the issue. I've been educated on all sides. I'm pretty sure, kind of like you. The more you tattoo, you get to know your community. Even though you're in that little booth, you get to know your community that comes and tells you. They come and report to you.
Yeah, and it's everybody, because like I have pastors, I have people in politics that cut their children hair, I have people that are coaches, their kids are in sports, I have people that are teachers and work for UNR, and so it's
you get to see the whole
everything.
Yeah,
and you don't want to be tacky or too street when you go talk and meet with some people. But
yeah. Well, that's it's pretty cool that I got to know that you go through the same nightmare that I do. So don't pick a fight with those guys. Tell
Never.
them I'm nice. I'm showing your fingerprints. That works for me. Now I understand that they're confused, and I understand my common name. Before that, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
And it created hatred.
Yeah, but now when they look me up, now they'll see my face in the news. They'll be like, "Oh, this guy's helping other people." You know what I mean? It's not like they don't see my mugshot. They see we're doing positive stuff.
I've been arrested, but I've been arrested twice for DUIs. I've been arrested for gang shit. I've been arrested for trespassing.
See, I've been lucky that I got away with so much stuff, and knock on wood, but I don't do stuff bad now, because obviously I'm a business owner and people look up to you, and you whether you want to be it or not, you're somebody's role model. Somebody
you have to behave.
You have to behave, and then now we have a lot more to lose. Like if I go to jail, no one's gonna pay my shop, no one's gonna pay my rent. I don't have none of that, so you
see
lose.
How many others you affect when if you fuck up.
Yeah, definitely.
There's so many people under you or around you. You're like, fuck. If I do this, all these motherfuckers.
Yeah, and they depend on you. Like I got artists, that I'm pushing them to do music, and they're 13, 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, sleeping in the car with their family, trying to make it, trying to figure it out, and and you just try to keep them, hey, stay off the streets, focus on your music, focus on this, go cut hair, do this, and so the fact that if we don't do what we do, we might lose them. I've already lost a bunch of little homies to the streets and big homies and all this, and at some point you put on the hat and you put on the jacket that you have to play that position on the field, where you have to stop these little homies from being crash outs and keep them somewhere where they're at.
I actually was the opposite.
Yeah. Well, when I was young,
you know what I told them? I told people, "Raph, don't you care about the community?" No.
No.
I care about 3 motherfuckers, my 3 girls, my 3 babies.
Yeah.
If I can keep my 3 girls out of the situation or out of the problem, then I done my job.
Yeah.
If you can do the same with yours and do your job, then I don't have to worry about yours.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't have kids.
And to me, that's, you know, and it's kind of like, and as human, you are human.
Yeah.
You know, so me, I'm human. When somebody tells me, hey, my kid just died in cancer, this and that,
it's
I take that home, and it is hard, and I can't just, oh, no, that happened at work.
And hate everybody.
No, it hurts. And it's like, and then when I see that person, it's like, God damn, he went through that hell and shit like that, and I'm affected by it. So I can't, you know, but I do care.
Yeah.
But when it came to like other kids or anybody else, it's like, no, I only worry about 3 motherfucking kids.
That's your job. That's your responsibility.
That's my 3 ones.
Those
are my those are the ones that will make me cry if anything happened to them.
Yeah.
You know, and if you did the same with yours.
Yeah.
Then.
But the cold truth is, the parents don't do what they're supposed to do. A lot of the kids, you know, a lot of the problems in my life and everybody that I know, it started in the home, and most of the people's problems start in their home, and just the fact that they don't have their parents, or their parents neglect them or abuse them or do whatever, you know, they turn out a certain way. My problems was in my house. I left my house when I was 15, 16 years old. I lived in the streets. I lived under parks, bridges. You know, I did what I had to do.
How many brothers?
There's 9 of us all together.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there's 9 of us all together, and we all have a whole different story, but I have a unique story because I actually was homeless. I was in the streets, and I was like involved with the gangs, and I was involved with drugs, and I was involved with everything that you can be involved in. But you know, at some point when you get older and you get through all this stuff, and now I am where I am, and I look back at my journey, I could have been a lot further. I could be doing a lot better if I had a little bit of help, if I had this one ride to get to work, if I had someone just tell me these 3 words, hey, it's gonna be okay, you got this, or here, you should apply for this, or let me show you how to file a license, or let me show you how to this, or let me show you how to apply for a driver's license. If I had one person, something like that, would have took me so much further. So when I think back on my journey, I think about what wasn't there, and I try to be there for other people, not just like for the Boys and Girls Club kids, but like even in my relationships. When I see like my girl or my ex-girl, she's walking, obviously I'm gonna try to make it so she doesn't have to walk. I'll get her a ride or an Uber, because I've had to walk to work, I've had to do all that stuff, you know. But you look at these kids, you know, like they're innocent, they got nothing. Like, you know, I've cut hair on little girls that they come to weird, and they smell like they smell like they peed on themselves, like they haven't showered, like they smell like cigarettes, like they smoke hella cigarettes in their house, like, and you just so affected by this that you're like, I can't just leave them. I can't just not cut their hair and make them feel better, or give them some encouragement, or at least try to recruit some of the girls at the shop to come make this girl feel better, or talk to them girl to girl. You know what I mean? So it's like, when you get to a certain stage, or at least where I'm at, it's like, I feel like I have a responsibility to attend to with a lot of the community. And like they say, it takes a village. Because you know, just like your kids are part of the community, other people's kids are in the community, my family is part of the community, and even though we all have different races and different, you know, whatever, we're all the same, we're all in the same area, you know. So when you help one, you know, I read this on the sweater on my coworker yesterday. I saw her wear the sweater all day, and I never read it until we're done donating the haircuts, and it says, it takes the hood to save the hood. And that shit made me realize, you know what I mean, a lot of people want to get out of the hood. A lot of people make their money and want to get out, and I'm out and I don't want to help, I don't want to do this. But in reality, it's like, but our grandmas are still in the hood, and our tias are still in the hood.
I live in the hood,
and you know what I mean, we're still in the hood.
I'm
you know?
comfortable in the hood.
Yeah, so that's why, like, we gotta help each other.
I find it comfortable where I'm at, because I've been accepted there the whole time. When I moved to Reno, I haven't moved no more than 1 mile from where we landed.
Damn.
We landed on Montello Street.
Nice.
So I'm still on
in the hood. So yeah,
I'm still in the hood. You know,
Yeah.
that street we get accepted. I know the whole area there. A lot of people know me. I know them. You know, I'm the scary guy that walks the dog. You know, I didn't know that I was until they told me. Yeah,
it's Devo, huh?
Yeah, you know how they tell that story, but you don't even know that they're telling stories about you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck, you know, and shit like that. There was one time I had an officer said that he would never even go to that area and deal with those animals. I'm like, seriously, bro? He goes,
but the hood is made up of humans, everybody like us that we know and love already, you know.
Yeah, well, that's where I feel comfortable. That's where I bought my house. It's not where I live, it's about my neighbors, and my neighbors been good to me. I'm good to them. I have a real comfortable situation. I have never fought or had an issue with one of my neighbors.
Nice.
And shit like that, you know.
Nice.
And so it's, you know, when you have you can move to the greatest fucking neighborhood, but if you have an asshole neighbor,
yeah, you're gonna have problems.
Then you're not gonna enjoy it. I don't know if you've seen that show, Bad Neighbor thing.
Yeah.
You know, I feel sorry for those people.
Even with the HOA, man, I hate them too.
Hell no, there's no way. My brother lived under that shit. I hated it when I used to go over there.
You can't even have a car in your driveway or with, man, it's.
Oh no, that mentality.
Horrible.
You know, but that's also like, I'm better than you, and I don't want you to fuck up my neighborhood, you know, this and that, and I don't want to look at your art or what you're doing. You know, so I like the hood, because the hood, you still do whatever, you know.
Whatever you want.
You got those mariachis every Friday night.
Yeah.
Till 3 o'clock in the morning, we got Mexican music right next door.
Live, huh?
You know, quinceañeras every other weekend. You know,
it's beautiful.
Firecrackers, fireworks. Then you get to hear, and then once in a while, a couple of drive-bys. That just lets me know we're in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
We're in the, you know, I belong there. And I never had issue going somewhere else. You know, somebody's looking for us. So you plugged in your Instagram. I've been on Instagram. Oh, I got you.
Famous Flako with the K.
Flako.
Famous Flako. And you just Google Famous Flako, and you just see all my booking link, the famous videos that I've done and stuff like that. So you'll see anything.
Oh, cool. Because I thought you were just doing hair. I got to learn a lot about you today, and that's hopefully better than me knowing all this shit. You're actually one homie that I didn't know too much until I met you that day. Homie says, "Hey, let's go." Let's go take a chair to homie. Let's see if he likes this hydraulic shit.
That's the beauty of networking, man.
I'm glad that you helped me out, bro.
Yeah, I'm glad that you came through, because it definitely has changed my life. And now I got like 3 barber expos coming up, and I already got the spot to showcase on those expos. So the chair's coming already.
Okay.
And then
let me know. I'll give you at least some stickers so people can hook it up.
Yeah.
You know, and
some cards or something, that way they could just take with them. And
oh yeah, I already got 2 built up ahead, and I'm trying to stack up, and let's see how this metal situation happens. If I have to go to Mexico, the good thing I got a green card. I can go down there and make them too. You know, but I'd rather make them here too.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoy making them in something to do in my backyard. You know, I just make them in my house. I wish one day I have enough business I can have a nice location and have my tools in there and be out of the fucking snow, because lately it's been cold, but luckily I know also how to do websites. Como te digo, I'm a computer website. I build my own online store and shit like that.
Nice.
So in case you ever need somebody or anybody's looking for a website, send them my way. You know, I need to make money on the side.
Yeah, I'll definitely put you in mind for sure, because I've got a couple ideas.
Yeah, anybody that wants to know or wants me to build them a website, give me a fucking call or let me know. I do know how to do Shopify, and I do know how to do WordPress, and I do know how to do Squarespace. So whatever the fuck you guys want to know, let me know.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
That's how I do my business. It's like, dude, that's your customer service?
Yes, that's to keep it true and genuine, authentic to you. You know, it's like the tattoos. It's like, you want me to feel sorry for the way I look? Like, this is how I look, this is how I talk, this is how I carry myself. And I think that's how, when you're a business owner, you have your own image. You can do what the fuck you want.
Oh yeah, I created a fucking image, believe me, with my afro and then my cholo image.
Yeah.
You know, I call it the paisa of the afro, and then just as soon as I shave it, I go into a cholo mode or whatever.
I haven't seen you with the long hair. I just seen it in a picture.
Oh no! If I let this shit grow in a year, I got a buffalo head.
Yeah, curly too. Huh?
Curly, it fucking puffs up. I'll probably do that just for the podcast, so people can see this fucking thing growing every episode. You know,
for real.
They'll say, "What the fuck?" You know, my business card used to be me smiling with an afro.
Dang.
You know, and no tattoos showing and shit like that.
Oh wow.
You know, so I had to convince people, and for the longest time, I had no tattoos showing.
Damn.
You know, that I was a tattoo artist and shit like that. And once I drew on them, then it was not just drawing, it's also el verbo, talking shit, being able to carry through. I think, you know, that's another part of our business.
Yeah.
You know, that I have a story to tell. People always interview me about how I feel about this, how I feel about that, and I tell them straight up, you know, if they like it or not, that's up to them. You know, it's kind of like, hey, what do you think of this? Well, I got my kids, so I worry about that.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, that's fucked up. Well, I can't worry about the community, believe me.
Yeah, and,
you know,
and it's already hard enough just when you have one kid. You know, it's already like, and that's crazy. I don't have no kids, and I'm scared. I think the kids, and I'm petrified. I'm like,
no, one day
I'm starting all over, and I haven't even started.
One day you'll be blessed to carry on and keep carrying your blood. That's good. You're from 8. From 9. I come from 8.
Yeah, I think
I'm 7 or 8.
There's 9 of us. Yep. I think I'm just so scared, man. That they fucking sneeze, burp, and fart at the same time. We're going to the hospital. Check this. Something's not right.
Your fucking human instinct takes over. You actually. You know, you just look up everything on Google.
Shit. Man, every time I look up when I got a headache, it says, "Oh, you might have symptoms of cancer." I'm like, "Oh shit, let's go to the hospital for real."
Luckily, you got Google now to back you up, homie.
Oh yeah.
You know, before there was nanas, there was latias. Everybody comes around when there's a kid.
Yeah.
They all come to help. The community will come to help.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as you have a kid and
Papi Google, Papi YouTube.
But if you have a family, they're all gonna come around.
Yeah.
They all want to be part of it. They're all gonna help out. They're all gonna advise you. Yeah. Those who have kids, those who don't, and you know, and human takes it over. You know, and
the instincts.
You figure out how to do that leche. All right, it's not that
good.
Before I burn the
for real, yeah, for real. Once when I was a baby, down the stairs too.
See,
and no, it was cool.
I have no broken metal or something. And you know,
can I use the restroom real quick?
Yeah, we're done. Have a nice day. Órale.
I was trying to hold it.
Sorry, no, cabrón. We went at it.
That's good. That's good.